I invite you to be in the most comfortable space. So whether it means that you might be lying down, perhaps you're sitting up. If you're sitting up, I hope you have support either of a chair, so maybe you have a back supporting you, sitting quite upright, and have a good position for your feet. So if you are on a chair, see if you could have your feet maybe placed on the ground. I am sitting on a bolster. If you have a bolster or cushion, so anything that maybe elevate your hips, so your hips are a little bit higher than your knees. And if you are, just in case, if you are standing, that's okay as well, because sometimes, you might be in the middle of the routine listening to this. The only thing is when you're standing, I would suggest maybe to sit down or lie down if you decide to close your eyes. So wherever you're at right now, I just encourage you to take a couple of breaths at your own pace, your own depth, and just arrive here. So throughout the practice, you may choose to have your eyes gently open or closed. Everything is completely your choice. This is your time to pause on purpose. And I just invite you to connect to yourself as much as possible in this next half an hour to 40 minutes. So whether you are lying down, sitting, standing, I invite you to bring awareness towards your feet. So just see if you can feel the connection of the feet, whether it's towards the ground, whether it's towards the mat if you are seated on the mat. If you're lying down, maybe just notice the point of contact of the feet towards the surface that's supporting you. And then I just suggest to maybe gently press your feet, whether it's into the ground, into the mat. If you're lying down on the bed, if you're standing in the floor, feel that connection of the feet towards the ground underneath you or support underneath you. Feel free to close your eyes. So if you keep your gaze open, maybe start to draw the awareness, draw the attention within. And I invite you to imagine, whether it's a visualization or whether it's a sensation, that your feet connected with the ground are almost like the roots of a tree or the roots of the plant, connected, supported. Maybe notice which part of the foot of both feet is more connected and supported by the surface underneath. And just maybe gently see if you would like to shift the weight slightly, whether it's forward or back, whether it's side to side. Gently noticing how maybe that changes sensation. Being curious, it's all about being curious, whether we're practicing yoga or mindfulness. Connection to self happens largely out of your curiosity. We are learning more about ourselves. So right now, I just invite you to connect to that sensation, connect to that maybe feeling of support of the feet with the ground or the surface that's underneath you. And then maybe gently move that attention towards the support, perhaps underneath your legs and the feet if you're sitting or lying down. Maybe notice how the weight of the body can be shifted more and more towards that support underneath. With each breath, feel that support taking more and more of the weight of the body, allowing your body to become a bit heavier. Let go of that weight into the support underneath you. And then feeling that support underneath your lower body, I just gently invite you to start to bring your awareness towards the spine. Now that your hips and the legs are supported by the surface underneath, see if you can gently guide your attention to the length of the spine. Noticing if there are any tight spots anywhere. Allow yourself to create as much movement as needed right now. So whether you're lying down or seated, so just maybe gently notice if you would like to move a little bit side to side. Perhaps if you notice that there is a little bit of tightness, or there is an opportunity to create more space between your shoulders and your ears, maybe you could drop the shoulders down and away. Feel free to make any big or small movements, noticing if there is any opportunity to create more space for yourself right now through your back, through the shoulders. And knowing that there is no right or wrong movement right now. So you are completely free to choose what is it that you would like to do right now, how you would like to adjust. So in yoga philosophy, the movement or the yoga practice comes before breathing, before meditation, because essentially we are preparing the body to be comfortable, to settle in the meditation, to settle in the moments of mindfulness. So gently noticing maybe the sensations between the shoulder blades. Is there any more opportunity to create space there? Noticing how the sensations are in the neck. Are there any gentle movements, maybe sideways, maybe the chin slightly closer towards the throat, and then lifting up a little bit, maybe higher. If you are lying down, allow yourself to also explore a little bit if there are any movements that you would like to add to create that sense of spaciousness. Just take another quick check right now. Notice how the body feels. How do you feel in the body right now? Are there any more gentle adjustments that you would like to make? And remember that it's always okay to adjust yourself gently throughout the practice. And then gently let's guide your attention towards the breath. Perhaps just noticing your inhalations and exhalations. No need to make any changes. Perhaps notice the flow of the breath around the space underneath your nostrils. So maybe the flow is slightly cooler as you take a breath in. Maybe slightly warmer as you take a breath out. Take a moment to notice how it feels right now to be in the body, to breathe with the body. So you always have an option to stay with the sensation of the breath flowing in and out through the nostrils throughout our practice. Otherwise, I invite you to imagine that as you continuously breathe in and out, imagine that you are breathing into the space of the heart. And it could be something visual. We're all different, so perhaps you might be visualizing that area of the heart, maybe expanding, maybe noticing if there is any particular color that gets stronger as you breathe in, maybe slightly dim as you breathe out. Or perhaps it's a physical sensation. Maybe you can connect to that sense of expansion in the chest area as you are taking that breath in. And lowering of the chest as you are breathing out. There's no right or wrong. So there are different ways that we connect to our bodies. Just explore and see which connection feels more natural for you. Breathing into the heart and breathing out. And if at any point you notice that your mind starts to wander, that's completely okay. Acknowledging that you notice and just bringing attention back to your breath. Breathing into the heart and breathing out from the heart. Next time as you take your inhale breath, I just invite you to be curious and perhaps notice a gentle pause at the end of the inhale and before the exhale. It's ever so slightly. So as you're breathing in, perhaps noticing a gentle gap. As you breathe out, you might be able to notice a gentle gap between the exhale and the inhale. Just continue to watch your breath and notice the space in between. Allow your attention and curiosity to follow the breath smoothly. Just gently following the inhale, noticing the gap, following the exhale, noticing that tiny gap. There's no need to change anything. If you start to notice maybe some slight adjustment towards the tempo of the breath or the depth, continue to observe without judgment. continue to observe how the breath is seamlessly moving. Inhale into the heart, tiny gap. Exhale out of the heart and the gap. Noticing the flow of the breath in that silent space. Keep following the breath, gently noticing the gaps between the breaths, the silent space inside of the breath, and the silent space outside. Again, you are more than welcome to stay with this process, breathing into the heart, breathing out of the heart. If you'd like, we can take it just a little bit further, following the breath. As you take your next breath in, notice that sensation underneath the nostrils, that coolness of the air. And as you continue to breathe in, follow the breath all the way into the heart. Notice the gap. And then start your exhalation from the heart and follow the breath out all the way out of the nostrils. Feel the warmer air perhaps. So just a little bit of adding on, perhaps noticing the sensation underneath the nostrils as you breathe in. Imagine continuing to breathe in all the way into the heart space. Notice that gentle gap. And then as you start to exhale from the heart space, follow the breath all the way towards that exhalation out of the nostrils. If at any point the thoughts start to take the mind for a little bit of a wander, gently guide it back towards the breath. In through the nostrils, into the heart space, and out from the heart space and out of the nostrils. And as you keep your focus on the breath, imagine that you are following the breath with your awareness. Just allowing that awareness of an observer to float with the breath in through the nostrils, travel as far as the heart space, and out through the nostrils. If you'd like, you may imagine that as you are following the breath with awareness, maybe it flows as a color or as a sensation, in and out through the nostrils, in and out of the heart. You may want even to allow that awareness and the breath to flow even further. Continue to observe the breath in from the nostrils, all the way into the heart, maybe even all the way into the belly. And then breathing out all the way through the nostrils. Notice if there are any sensations, any images that might be coming up as you follow the breath in and out through the nostrils. In and out through the whole body. Another couple of deep breaths like this. Follow your awareness, follow your breath all the way into the heart, into the belly, and exhale, following the exhalation all the way out through the nostrils. Bringing awareness now more towards that space underneath the nostrils. And start to also bring your attention more towards your physical body once again. So gently scanning the back of the body, noticing any sensations, perhaps the connection towards support underneath or behind you. Bringing awareness towards the lower body. Once again, feeling that support underneath the hips, the legs, the feet. Guiding the breath towards your physical body as perhaps you start to maybe make some very, very little movements, almost micro movements. Maybe stretching through the fingers, the toes. And as you start to take those gentle stretches, allow your awareness and the breath to follow. So imagine that as you are adding more spaciousness into the physical body right now, stretching through it, imagine breathing in, creating more and more of that space. And as you breathe out, maybe you can imagine how that the breath is traveling together with that weight of the body as you're allowing your body to be fully supported, feeling that support underneath you. Allow the breath to become that a timeless connection between your mind and your body once again, fully connected to the body as you start to maybe make ever so slightly smaller movements, noticing what needs to be moved right now. And if you're practicing closer to the bedtime, if you do not need to get up, that's completely okay. If you feel that if you will need to have a little bit more of a vigorous movement underneath, then start to again bring more and more awareness, maybe gentle stretches. Allow that weight of the body to feel connection with the support. So anything that you need to feel right now, to be present and connected with your hands, with your legs. Gentle reminder for us to have that little bit of a check-in if there is anything that needs to be gently stretched and moved before we need to get going again. Just allow yourself to return fully towards the space around you. If your eyes are still closed, maybe you can gently open the eyes and observe what is around. See if you can be an observer without judgment, noticing with curiosity, perhaps noticing as if you are looking at the things around you for the first time today. And to finish our practice, I invite you to choose any gesture that feels good for you right now to acknowledge yourself for this space that you have created for yourself and for this practice. So whether it's hands to heart, we're breathing into the heart, whether it's hands together in your prayer position, any particular, maybe it's a hug, just a lot, just sorry, just want to invite you to choose that gesture to acknowledge yourself. And from my side, I would like to acknowledge you for sharing this space, regardless whether it's live or whether you're watching on replay. Thank you so much. It's been my privilege to guide you for our practice tonight. Please feel free to comment or send me a message if you have any comments. I hope the sound worked better today. I think I worked out what happened last time. So I hope you have a wonderful evening tonight, or wonderful day if you're watching it another time. And I hope to see you again soon. Namaste, everyone, and have a good evening. Thank you.